What I've done now is I've tried to make this a little bit easier, where you can download the code from GitHub. For To use VS Studio Code, you're probably going to have a GitHub account anyway. So once you get a GitHub account, like I can type it in like that, but it's going to come up where mine already should log me in. But there's people in which you can watch YouTube videos on, which will help you find how to use GitHub. It'll teach you how to use GitHub. But for me, if you're trying to find my repository, it's right here. But when you're looking for it, you have to type it in here probably. Just type in BFINNERTY 1971. And you can type in releases as well. It's the only folder that's there. And you can press return, and that will be my folder. And I made this public so you can download this. You can see I just updated it 3 minutes ago. Um, I'm doing this to make it easy so that you're able to build this project. And I'm gonna also add in a few things to this folder for like documentation to help in building this box that I've created. But this is the manual functional test I have. For you to get these files, you can, I believe all you have to do is, like this one is the README. You can download it right here, and it downloads the README file. All I'm doing on this is I'm telling you to add these two lines to the end of your platform INI, a platform IO INI file, and these are the two lines right here you'd add to it. This is just an example of it. And then here's the main. So if you want this one, you also download it. And this is all the code. That way you don't have to copy and paste and type it all in. Actually, you can just move this into your folder and you wouldn't have to do any of it. But, I'm showing in the video, I'm showing you how to copy and paste. So to make it easier for you, but this, at least you don't have to type it now. So that's the end of this part of it. But what I'll show you is I'll go over here to my so this is where I just got my file and I just put it on there. But I'll go to my downloads folder, and these are the ones I just downloaded. You can see it's 8:50 p.m. It's 8:51 over here. So I just download both these files right here. So the next part of the video, I'm showing you how to copy and paste all your code into it. With this one, you will just you can actually move to your desktop if you want to, but you'll right click, you'll select edit. Now you have all your code, and you can do edit select all, or you can do control A. So you can select all, and then you can do edit copy, and then when you go to the other one, you do edit paste, and that would get all your code there. But do make sure to add these two lines to the end of the platform io.ini file, and that's in the next video on how to add the code after you create your project. Have a good day. Hello. So in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to create a project in Visual Studio Code and add the code, build the code, and then load the code into the microcontroller. So it's just a few easy steps. First, I'll show you what I'm using here. This is Visual Studio Code. I'll show you. It's the about part of Visual Studio Code. This is free from Microsoft. You can download this free from Microsoft. So what I'm going to do to start is first I'm going to use this because I've already proven this file works for me. I've already proven this, and I gave you a demonstration before I started of this code working. So I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to use this very same code. And all you have to do is create the project like I show you, and then you have to type the code in. But the first step is to go over here to this little thing here. I can press open, and that opens so I can create a new project. And I'm going to call this one a released version of it. So let's say manual functional test release 1. Let's call it release 1. And this I'll type ESP, and this is the board I'm using. If you're using the same board that I am, that's the one you would select, and it will work. So I'm going to call this release, I'm going to call it 01. That 01, manual functional test release 01. And I'm going to press finish, and it will create everything for me. It'll create a new project for me. And this new project will be empty. So I'll select yes. Now the new project is down here at the bottom. It's not this one up here. And so if I go to the SRC file, which is the source folder, you'll see that it's basically an empty file. So how I can fix that is in the platform IO is basically a standard file what comes with it. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab this INI file, and this is the part that I'm going to copy out of it, and I'm going to use for this INI file. So what I did is I do this, and I can I selected all this right here, and I'll hold Control down and press C. Another way is you can right click and say copy. You can do that, and then I'll go here, and I can do right click and select paste. But you see, there's Control C and Control V. It's the same thing. So I'm going to right click and select paste. For this, I want to take all this code that I have. The best way, if I hold Control and press A, it selects all. And I can right click and say copy. Like that. And I can go down here to this one. Again, if I do Control A, it selects all. Now I can right click and press paste. And it's only 201 lines. It'll be 201 lines. You can go all the way to the top, and you'll see that it came in the same. It filled in the same area. You'll see that this right here has a red line underneath it. There's a reason for that. You have to go to the INI file and say save. You have to save this file. Now I can go to the main CPP file. You can see it's already updating right now. So now it's going to update, and that's going to be okay. So now it's okay. And I can also do a save here on this file. Right now you can see this says default manual functional test release 1, so I know that's the one it's going to build. So I'll go ahead and I'll build it and see if it works. Currently, I also want to mention, right now the USB port is not connected to the test, the microcontroller that I'm going to program. So the first thing is to build and make sure it builds. If it builds with no errors, then I know it's going to load into the microcontroller, and it should work with no errors. It takes a few minutes to build, but after it builds, if you build the file one time when you load it, it's not going to rebuild it because it knows it's already been built. If you make changes, then it's going to rebuild it again before you upload it. But this is to verify that there's not any syntax errors, and the code's going to compile. At the end of this, I will give you, all the code where you can. It'll be pictures of, so you can just type it in. It's only 201 lines. It's not a lot. Looks like it's down at the end of it, so it's almost. They'll let me know if it's successful. So that's okay. So the next part of this, I'm going to go ahead and show you the test set that I have here, and show you that it's currently working the way that it is. So I'm going to get my phone and start recording, so you can see. So I'm starting to record. This is the video right here. This is the video right here. I'm starting to record. So the first thing I'll do is come down to the test set, and I'll show you the test set. I'll go ahead and turn it on so you can see the display that it currently has. All it does is come up and says DFRobot 1602. That's all it says right now. I can turn it off and back on, and that's all it will say. That's the only thing's programmed is where it just turns the LCD on. I did that for a reason. I wanted you to see that it's programming this. Another thing I do, this 5 volts that goes to this else to the microcontroller, I always disconnect this. I always disconnect it. I think I accidentally disconnected a few other things. I'll have to fix that in a second. Um, I disconnect that because I don't want a conflict between the USB port of the computer and that 5 volts. I don't want that. It can cause a problem. So I'll go ahead and stop this video for a second. I'm going to fix that wire. I disconnected a wire over here by accident. And then I'm going to plug this in to the computer, to the USB port to the computer. Because right now, like I said, it's not plugged in. Okay, so I've gone ahead and reconnected the power supply. I accidentally disconnected the input of the 3.3 volt buck converter. So I'll go ahead and get started again and show you that it's working. Again, I'll start recording with my phone here, and okay, it's turned on. So I've connected the 3 volts here. There's a buck converter on there, and I've already explained all the parts that are on here at one time. But I'll go ahead and connect this now. Remember, I did disconnect the 5 volts going from here to the ESP32. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and first I'll go ahead and turn this on so you can see what happens. Basically, this is just going to be when it's on, it's going to be just so that's connected now. All it does is it shows the DFRobot. So now when I program this, what you're going to see is it's not going to say DFRobot anymore. Now what it's going to do is it'll have the functional test. And as you can see, now it's programmed and it's coming up and starting to work again. I know if I press the D button over here, it should go through a self-test. Now I know if I press the A button, now it's going to be testing, in that mode. And I can press 1 and it'll go through each relay. I know that, and then these are invalid. I know that. I can turn it off and go back to the menu again. I have to move because I'm pressing buttons over here as I'm doing. So I'll now go to the calming, and now you see it'll start changing again. And I'm pressing buttons over here so you can see that as it's changing. That I can turn them off, and I can go back to the main menu. And when you open this, you'll see that it does work just like I had shown. I'll go ahead and just do the test. Just press one button. It does a self-test. And that's it. It basically works. And I'll show you the rest of how to put this together in the next part of this video. I'm keeping these as short as possible because I don't want to take up too much time.